Welcome back, everyone. Max here. Last time we covered the basics of RevOps, and today we're talking about getting your teams to play nice and make more money. Nico Druelle is back with us, and he has seen it all when it comes to sales, marketing, and customer success, so he knows a thing or two about team alignment and how revenue operations can play a role in getting everyone on the same page. If you're tired of departments pointing fingers at each other, this one's for you, so let's dive in. Nicholas, great to have you back.
Good to be back.
When a company doesn't have effective RevOps, sales, marketing, customer success teams can end up working in silos. It leads to miscommunications, conflicting priorities, data's all over the place, processes are inefficient, it's hard to measure what's working, and ultimately this makes it really hard to focus a team around quantifiable metrics and goals. And I'm curious, can you tell me a little bit about the role that RevOps plays in team alignment? And how can a lack of an effective RevOps function hurt this alignment?
RevOps really helps revenue leaders understand what they really want. And it's helping them building user stories, how they want to achieve their goals, and have them to give that story rather than to find a solution. In many cases, you have sales, marketing leaders that are coming from very different organizations. They have a certain way. They're experienced leaders, they had success in past companies, so they have a certain way of doing things, and they bring that baggage, which is why you bring them to the table in the first place. But as your organization grows, you have a marketing leader, sales leaders, customer success leader, data leader, product leader. All those persons have a unique skills and experience with different tools and processes that they bring to the table, and obviously they want to get the easier or the faster way for them to get to their results, which is the way they've built in the past. And without a revenue operation function that acts as a filter between what those functions think they need and believe they want to do and what is actually good for the company to implement, there's a gap. The role of revenue operation is to act as this procurement, leader and listen to the needs of each of these departments and understand their business metric, what they're trying to influence, and help them building such metrics in a way that create alignment between those departments and clear handoff between each of the teams, but also giving them the right tools and the right processes to do so without necessarily giving them exactly what they asked for in the first place. And there's a nuance in that process. It comes down to having enough power and leverage in that RevOps department to be able to push back on some technologies and processes, to be able to do something that is good for the company and the client, and not necessarily what is a shortcut for a department or a leader in that department.
That makes sense. So I think you can kind of intuitively think about the case inside of a company where sales needs a tool, they go set it up, or marketing needs a tool, they go set it up, and then it ends up kind of being built for their own purposes. And not to say that there's any malintent there, but it's obviously, sales isn't building something in a kind of marketing first view and vice versa. So RevOps, it sounds like, exists at, independently of those functions to be able to have that higher level view to say, okay, are we sort of walking on the right road at all before we go and start spinning up a bunch of software and connecting a bunch of things and leading to building this thing that leads to this sort of ball of mud. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you walk through the high level sort of information and data flow in an aligned RevOps structure? What does that look like? How is it helping alignment?
Yeah, so a really well-oiled machine from a revenue operations standpoint, enables prospect to flow from top of the funnel marketing engine to the sales CRM system where the sales are operating. There's a lot of different things that have to happen, whether it's an inbound motion or outbound motion. You can have very different touch points, and a MQL creation is basically what the marketing team is responsible for. Making sure that the MQL is being delivered, a marketing qualified lead is being delivered to sales with the right timing, the right data, the right context, to the right person is a crucial piece of that, revenue architecture. And in most cases, those two teams have to collaborate with two different systems, right? I'll take an example of most of my clients are using HubSpot for marketing and Salesforce for the CRM. And they're engaging with their audience top of the funnel in the HubSpot Marketing Hub. And we have trigger and automation that are built up so that when leads reach certain level of scoring and engagement, they are being sent into the CRM with all the adequate, information for the sales to qualify the lead. So a marketing qualified lead to a sales qualified lead is such a core foundational, process across an organization that involves two different systems. And if it's not set up correctly, what can happen is that you have a MQL funnel that is either lacks context in Salesforce for the sales team to engage with, and then sales doesn't really trust the lead that they're being fed. And then what they do is that they start sourcing their own leads their own way, and you lose complete alignment between those two teams, because you have the marketing team paying money for leads that don't end up being good for the sales team, and sales team spending time that they should be spending on selling, sourcing their own leads, doing this manually, where you have a more automated way to do it. So that's a really classic example of where revenue operation can help, and a very common pitfall of sales and marketing misalignment.
Thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoyed the content, make sure to check out our full series on revenue operations. If you want to pick Nico's brain on RevOps, check out his info in the description, and hey, if you found this helpful, smash that like button and hit subscribe. It really helps us out, and make sure to hit the bell if you want more tips on growing your business. Catch you in the next one.